Welcome back to the Power of Sports, presented by Group 1001. I'm your host, Rick Horrow, and Bill Daly, who has been the guy in the NHL for so long, Deputy Commissioner, and so much more. How are you?
I'm great, Rick. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So,
welcome to San Jose.
Well, thank you very much. Gary Bettman, who we all admire, said in one of his speeches, as it relates to a strong league, strong, healthy franchises, a game that's competitive, compelling, and entertaining, great players, and people for our fans to connect with, and a great fan base. Where the NHL is today, does that all ring true? Where is the league in the context of all of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he hits all the high points for sure. I mean, the success of any product, certainly a sports product, starts on the field or in our case on the ice. And our on-ice product has never been better. We have a very vibrant and passionate fan base. We have great players. We have people who care about the game, involved in the game. So the league's in a really good place. I've been with the league 22 years now. I can't think of a better time for the league.
Strong league, stable league, growing league, always is. It's even more important that you deal with leave behind and the legacy. In that context, philanthropy for a few minutes. Hockey Fights Cancer. Talk about that program.
It's a program that's long-standing. It was initiated shortly after Gary got to the NHL. It's something our clubs embrace on a yearly basis and something our players embrace on a yearly basis, something that's really important. It started with an initiative as a result of a player who was diagnosed with cancer at the time he recovered. We've had a number of ambassadors over the years suffering similar afflictions, raised a lot of money over that time period, so I would say it's a foundational charity initiative for the league.
And you've transformed in a way, and maybe it was part of the overall vision anyway. The Hockey Fights Cancer Nights are done not just in NHL markets, but all over the country. Is it part of the desire now to create things at the league level and to make sure that they permeate all over North America?
Well, we've been doing more and more of those types of things, particularly with the recent advent of our Industry Growth Fund, which we administer jointly with our National Hockey League Players Association. It's a certain amount of money that's set aside, actually a fairly large amount of money that's set aside every year by our clubs and our owners that we have been using to really fund grassroots efforts to grow the sport, charity efforts to grow the sport. And it's a real credit to our ownership to have the vision and the ability to do that, willingness to do that, but also to the people who are executing on the ground every day.
Environment, very important to a lot of your kids, frozen ponds and rinks in Canada, otherwise as well. How does the environment and the greening issues play into all this also?
Well, another initiative that really spearheaded originally by the commissioner probably about 10 years ago, wanting to make a difference in the environment, understanding the issues associated with artificial ice and the issues they raise. And we have an individual internally who is dedicated 24/7 to the greening issues and running our greening program, and Omar Mitchell. Something that's very, very important to us, something we consult with every club when they're designing arenas, something we work with our clubs on a regular basis, even with existing arenas with respect to environmental friendly practices, something very important to the commissioner in the league and the owners.
Diversity. We celebrate Willie O'Ree's long overdue acceptance and election to the Hall of Fame. He stands for this, but you all have done much more than that relative to diversity in the NHL and otherwise. Talk about it.
Yeah, hockey is for everyone, and yet another initiative that is we've done jointly with USA Hockey as a kind of flag bearer for that program, and it's all about creating and encouraging diversity and inclusion in our sport at all levels of our sport, and it's something we take very seriously and we think is important to the growth of our sport. We think it's important both to the fandom of our sport but to participation in our sport, and I think it kind of dovetails with the grassroots efforts we're making in a lot of the inner city areas, making balls and sticks available to youth so they get a grasp and an understanding of what our game's about and the principles of our game. And hockey is for everyone's been a driver for that.
Great segue, because balls and sticks are important, but facilities and ice are also very important. So the youth development programs, the Learn to Skate programs, the hockey development across North America, one of your more incredible initiatives of all of them. Talk about that.
Well, I think the rink development is something, again, we've been working on off and on over time, going back a couple of decades, certainly since I've been at the league. But I would say in probably the last 5 years, in far more concrete ways. That is also some of where we use our industry growth fund to help fund clubs who want to partner on local ice rink initiatives to get more ice and make more ice available to youth. It is one of the barriers to our sport. We recognize that. We think you can play not only on ice but on hard surfaces as well. And the ice will come secondary, but obviously the more ice rinks the better, and that's important for us both in the United States but also in Canada.
Talk a little bit about the embracing of the All-Star Weekend by San Jose and Northern California.
Well, it's been fantastic. I mean, we had a kickoff for a legacy project at the San Jose and the league. We were talking about rink development. Yeah. San Jose and the league partnered on to refurbish a rink here in San Jose, a ball hockey rink in San Jose, which was great. John Tutora and his group here have really wanted the All-Star Game and have done a fantastic job in working to plan the All-Star Game. I know they're very, very excited, and I share their excitement. It's a great community. I can tell you that this club's made a difference in this community from the time it came into the league. I think the community certainly has embraced the club, and it's become part of the identity of San Jose.
So we judge importance of weekends by clothing that Bill Daly sketches out, and sometimes it's a jacket and leisure suit. Today it's charcoal suit day, so it's a big weekend for you. Thank you, my friend. You're the best.